Okay, so now that we have all of our content selected, we have the keywords selected that we know we want to write our content about, I want to talk a little bit today about the 4 most important factors for your homepage, or for your landing page, for your website, based solely on the content. There'll be a lot of stuff we talk about, but in my opinion, these are the 4 most important things that your content has to hit and that your keywords have to be integrated into. Okay, so we talked in my last video about this example of mold in Indianapolis, right? I selected and showed you how we would use some of these keywords, how we find and locate some of the most important keywords during our keyword exploration. Now, the most important thing is keyword optimization. We want to make sure in our content, we write natural content that looks really good. It meets what the consumer is searching for. AI content is great as long as you edit it, check it, tweak it, make sure it looks exactly how you want it to be able to meet what the consumer is actually searching for, okay? Google will pick up on fluff all day long, so you want to make sure that what you are writing, what you have on your website is actually helpful and relevant to the keywords that people are searching for, right? So first most important thing, keyword optimization. We got to make sure the most important keywords, the highest search volume keywords, the keywords that we are targeting are in the correct places. What I personally like to do is I take my top 10 keywords and I say, okay, I want to hit my top 3 several times. I want to hit keywords 4 through 8, maybe 1 less time, and I want to hit keywords 9 and 10. Maybe 1 or 2 times at different places throughout my website. So that's kind of how I break it out. Most important keywords, most important places, least important keywords, but ones you're still trying to rank for in lesser important places, or more importantly, used less frequently. So keyword optimization, that's the whole concept of that. Title tags is where you'll see, if you're building a website in WordPress or whatever you're using, you'll see sections for title tags. Title tags essentially are an HTML element that specifies the title of your website. So it allows Google to crawl and knows how to best title your website. So I always say it's very, very important to put your main keyword naturally into your title tag. It just makes sense, right? You want to be, if for this mold example, mold remediation Indianapolis right here is our #1 keyword with the highest search volume. We want to naturally insert the phrase mold remediation Indianapolis into our title tag. It's the best way for Google to scrape it, read it, know exactly what we're talking about, right? Okay, so that's title tags. You want to fit your most important, most valuable keyword into that spot. Third is your meta description. Your meta description, very important SEO signal. It's a paragraph description, usually up to 750 characters, that they allow you to basically write a description about what your website is and about the content that's on your website. So you want to naturally fit as 2 or 3, you really don't want to overdo it, of your top keywords into this description as to what your website is about. Okay, so think of a way that you can naturally write it. All kinds of AI prompts, especially at Helm, does an amazing job of this, of saying, hey, can you write me a meta description based off these SEO factors with these keywords for this type of content? And you'll get a really great prompt, and then you can feel free to tweak it from there. And lastly, headings. Your H1 tag, your main heading tag of your website, is automatically scraped by the robots in Google that they know exactly what your website is about. So your H1, if you picture it this way, is setting the tone of what your website is about. Okay, so take your #1 keyword. I would fit your #1 keyword naturally into your title tag. Fit it somehow into your meta description. Sometimes your meta description will be better if it's your #2, #3 keywords. And then make sure your H1, your heading 1, is extremely important that you insert your main keyword into there, your highest search volume keyword. Okay. Through the rest of your headings, your H2, your H3, try and fit naturally keywords into them as best as you can. But again, you want to be able to think about your website just like you would have written a paper when you were in school, right? Your headings are the way you classify and quantify what your website is about. And so as Google is scraping that, consider Google to be a reader of your website. Google needs to know what your website was about, right? So H1, most important keyword, fit it naturally. Google will then find that, read that, when people are searching for it, say, this is the source on that, and that's how they rank your website. H2, H3, H4, fit them in with natural content. Still try and use keywords as often as you can, but try and fit as many keywords in a natural form as possible. Google has definitely caught on to keyword stuffing, which used to work. I remember back in the day that used to work all the time. Doesn't work anymore. Don't try to trick the system. Don't do any, inserting your keyword 100 times in a white font on a white background. Google can see that stuff all day long. So you want to be natural, write natural content, fit your keywords in naturally, but again, rewatch this, make sure you understand these 4 elements, most important factors for content for your homepage for SEO.